I've never had pani puri, I've never had idli, I've never had vada. Actually, I've never had most Indian foods. But luckily for me, we've just arrived in Bangalore. In this video, I'm going to be taking you along with me as I try some of India's most delicious foods for the very first time. I'm going to show you all of the prices as well as the name of everywhere I'm eating so that if you are coming to India or if you're already in India, you can try the same foods. From breakfast that costs well under $1 to exploring the city's trendy bar scene, we've got a lot planned for this video, so we better get started. It is our very first day in India, and it's time for our very first meal in India. A lot of you recommended that we try idli and vada for breakfast, and I found a local restaurant that serves both of those things. So that's where we're headed now, and we're gonna give them a taste. Okay, idli vada. The idli is like lentils, like a lentil rice, steamed dough, and these are different chutneys. You can dip them in. That's very nice. It's got some spice to it, but maybe I should try eating with my hands.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
I mean,
you can tell me if I did this right or wrong.
it's okay. There's no right or wrong way to make it, so just go ahead.
Just dip it in.
Yeah.
Very nice. Do you know the difference between?
So this is a chutney.
Yeah, chutney.
This is like a stew.
Stew?
Lentil stew with some vegetables.
Okay.
So it's called sambar.
Sambar.
This is the coconut chutney.
Coconut chutney.
And this is a tomato chutney.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you can try some of the tomato chutney also. If you want. A little more spicy actually.
Okay,
But,
yeah. Let me try a little bit. Thank you.
Right.
So tomato chutney. That is nice. It tastes like a tomato soup actually. Just like a concentrated tomato soup, yeah. Very nice.
Are you okay to be on camera too? Or?
I don't mind.
What is your name?
My name is Vibhukar. Vibhukar.
Ribuka. Okay.
So I'm a big foodie actually.
Oh, okay.
I work for a bar and restaurant actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it close?
It's in Andhra, 3 kilometers away. That's the name of the place actually.
Okay.
But we only do cocktails over here.
Oh, okay.
But I did go to culinary school before this, so that's why I have knowledge about food.
I have a food YouTube channel.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I've had Indian food only a few times in my life before.
Okay.
And most of it's not like this. It's like, you know, in America.
Yeah.
It's like butter chicken. This is my first time having idli.
Ah, nice.
Yeah. So the batter is fermented, and then they steam it, which is how you get these like light, fluffy, it's like spongy texture. And then you dip it in either the coconut chutney or the sambal, and they're both really good. I've never had vada either.
Yeah, it's vada.
The vada is very similar. It's dal, so lentils again in the inside, and rice and a batter, and sometimes they use chilies or mustard seeds, and they put a hole in the middle of it to make it like a donut. I'm gonna grab Brittany's. Like this, because it's very high protein with the batter being made mostly out of the dal. And so if you push a hole in it, then it helps it actually fry and cook evenly so it doesn't take too long. And then that allows it to be like really crispy on the outside, but then still light and fluffy on the inside. And it's really, really good. Like I think the closest comparison is just like a donut, but it's very savory. And it's got like I had a bite that had a chili in it, so it's spicy. But not too spicy. Like it's just very, it's good. So we just had our very first idli and vada in India and ever. It was really, really good. And we made a new friend. I think we're gonna be going to his bar later. He works at a bar. And yeah, the people here are super friendly so far. Food's really good. It was really cheap too. It was only 110 rupees for that breakfast for 2 people total. So that's like $1.40, $1.30-ish. But yeah, I'm very excited to keep exploring, and if this is how good the food's gonna be and this is how nice people are gonna be, we're gonna have a really good time here. Okay, let's go. Look at the sidewalks here. So like when you're walking, it's like sidewalk, and then all of a sudden, sometimes it just becomes these big stones. And then you realize there's giant holes that you're walking on. So you just gotta hope that the stones hold up. Thank you. This guy just stopped because he's taking a video. Oh my God, people are too nice here. That's like detrimental level nice. Hello. Nice to meet you. What?
Finish taking the photo.
No, it's okay. You can order.
Welcome to India.
Thank you. Yeah, let's buy them some fruit.
Yes.
For them, for their fruit. For you, yes.
Why?
Yeah, because just to be nice. I want to support him, but I don't need any fruit right now. There you go. For them, for their fruit, yes.
After walking around for a bit, we'd worked up an appetite, so we decided to stop at a street stall to try our very first ever pani puri.
All right, so we're here for a little bit of a snack now, and this is pani puri. I've never had this before in my life, but it's a really, really popular Indian street food dish. I think it's usually eaten in the afternoon, just like a little snack. You'll see stalls all over the place selling them, and people will just stand outside and get one at a time, and you just eat it immediately and eat as many as you want, and then you pay when you're done. We've gotten 6 of them here, and it was 60 rupees. What these are is it's like a little puffed up, I think it's rice flour, but they make these little pastries that puff up into balls, and then before he assembles it, he punches a hole in it to kind of hollow it out, and then he fills it with onion and potato, and it looks like some chickpeas or lentils, and everything is like seasoned with some sort of, spice mixture. And then they also give you what I believe is like a coriander mint chutney sauce. And so what you do is you put that inside the pani puri, and then you're not going to have a lot of time once you do it because these things are going to dissolve with how thin they are. And then you just eat it. You pop it in. It's a one little bite, delicious snack. So let's give it a shot. My first ever pani puri. I think, did he give you the spoon or did you grab the spoon?
I grabbed the spoon.
Yeah, I think you pour it in. I don't think you need a spoon. It's got some spice to it. Not too much. There's a lot of flavors though. For like 10 seconds straight, your mouth just bounces between flavors. First thing you notice is I do think this is mint cilantro sauce here. So that's the first thing you notice. It's like the freshness of those herbs. But then as you chew it, you start to get like the onion for sure. There's raw onion in here. You get some of the spice, whatever the spice mixture is. Then at the end, you get the potatoes and the chickpeas. It's fantastic. It's quite fantastic. Let's try it again. The other thing that you're always supposed to do, which I'm not used to, is when you're eating with your hands, you always eat with your right hand. So you can hold like the cup and stuff with your left hand, but your right hand should be the only hand that touches the food. I just broke that rule, but yeah, here we go. That is really good. It's so crispy too. It's like one of the best, like one bite, just Indian flavor bombs. Very, very good. We're gonna eat some more of those for sure. Now that we've had a few snacks, it's time to meet up with our friend that we met this morning at breakfast. It turns out that he works at a bar and he's invited us to have a few drinks. But what we didn't know until a few minutes ago is that this bar is really popular. Some people online have said that they've even tried for weeks or months to get into this restaurant and they've not been able to get reservations. So we're very lucky that we get to just walk in and supposedly there'll be 2 seats for us. I guess we just met the right person at breakfast this morning. All right, so we're now at Soka. We've placed an order. We've got 2 drinks and 2 small plates of food. I'm really excited to try these both. Let me tell you what we've got. So right now they're doing a collaboration with an artist who is really passionate about perfumes, I guess. So all of these special perfume cocktails are inspired by scents and scents around Bangalore. So it's all like local flavors, local scents. The drink I've ordered is supposed to smell like a festival that happens in Bangalore. I'm really excited to see this. They've given us a little jar here, so we start by opening this up and smelling the scent inside. So let's do that. Oh wow, it's like very floral. It smells like rose petals and mint. If that's what this is gonna taste like, this is gonna be delicious. So here's the cocktail. I believe it's like rum and coconut water and camphor, which I've never had before. So I don't know really how to describe it yet, but let's see. Wow, yeah, that is really good. It's like super fresh, but extremely strongly florally flavored. It tastes like drinking an incense stick in a good way. Like it's really good. Everything about this is just, it feels very premium. Like the ice is hand carved. The liquors they're using are all like premium brands. And the flavors that they've managed to get into this drink, I've never had anything like this before. This is really cool.
Now, being a cocktail bar, you shouldn't be too surprised that the cocktails here are very delicious. But what caught me off guard was how delicious the food was.
It was really good.
I'm not going to go into too much detail here because I think this is worth discovering yourself, but all you need to know is this is definitely worth a visit when you come to Bangalore.
So Vibhukar just told us that as the night goes on, they dim the lights and they turn the music up more and more progressively. So like as people come in, they drink more, the music gets louder, their senses kind of focus more on the drinks, less on the surroundings. I think it's pretty cool. I'm really excited. We just ordered more drinks. Time to turn the music up, I guess. All right, we have just finished up. That was fantastic. Those were some of the best cocktails I've ever had in my entire life. I mean that. I'm not just saying that because I just had like 3.5 of them, but that was truly fantastic. If you have the means to attend some drinks and dinner at Soka, you absolutely should be doing that while you're in Bangalore. Brittany's drunk though, so we gotta get her home. And maybe we're gonna have some, should we do some room service when we get back? I think we're gonna do some room service. But first, let's see if we can hail a rickshaw. This is gonna be an interesting event. Hello, I'd like to place an order for room service. So first, could I have an order of the puri chicken? And then also the chicken tikka panini? Yes, that is all. Thank you. It was shockingly easy. We're gonna get some food in an undetermined amount of time because I didn't understand what he said. Could be 10 minutes, could be 3 days. Hello. Let's eat. All right, so what I ended up ordering is puri chicken. I'm not really sure what that means, honestly. It says it's quick fried chicken legs, cooked coastal style. To me, it looks good. It also has an idli under it, which we are all familiar with now. If you've made it this far in the video, I'm assuming you didn't skip to this point. So we had idli for breakfast, and I loved it, so I'm very excited to have it again with this chicken. This looks fantastic. Ooh, this one's got some kick to it. It's quite spicy. Let's try some of the chicken. Oh, that was fantastic. I think that this sauce is tomato based. It's got a lot of curried spices in here. I'm not even gonna attempt to predict what those are at this point. There's some onions, like little onions. Fantastic. Looks like there's actually curry leaves on here. Curry leaves are delicious. Wow. We are definitely paying a premium for this being room service. This was 625 rupees, which to me is still a fantastic deal. I mean, this is fantastic. But based on the prices we were paying for food earlier, it was more expensive, for sure. The funniest part about it is that you don't even know that I'm not wearing pants right now. I love room service. All right, so right now we're in the back of a rickshaw. We're on our way to lunch. We ended up just eating breakfast in the hotel room. I may or may not have had a Pop-Tart that was like $12. It's okay, it's all right. Now we're gonna go get some proper Indian food at a restaurant that a lot of you recommended. So I'm very excited, and we're gonna be trying some new food. I'll show you in a minute. I was just gonna say how loud it is. All right, so it's incredibly loud in here, but we've got our food. We've ordered a ghee puri masala dosa and ghee puri idli, which are the two things that you guys said I should order here. I've never had either of these before. I've literally never had a dosa in my entire life. This is the first one ever. So hopefully it's good. I've seen videos of people eating dosa, and it seems like you usually start in the middle. It's like eating a burrito from the middle out. I'm not sure, but whatever, I'm gonna do this. So it's stuffed with, I think, potatoes and lots of spices, herbs, onions. The dosa itself is like a lentil, rice, flour batter. They cook it in ghee, and he just flips it over. It gets like perfectly golden crispy. And then they give you 3 different sauces with it. I'm gonna try it on its own first. That's really good. It's so crispy, but like soft too, because the inside is like steamed almost, but then the bottom side is so crispy. It's just a fantastic texture. My first dosa ever for my entire life, and it's a pretty good way to start, I'd say. Wow. Thank you guys for this recommendation. This is fantastic. I might need to order more of this. All right, now it's time for the idli. Looks like it's the same 3 sauces, the chutneys and the sambal, and let's give it a shot. It's got tons of spices on it. Unlike the ones we had for breakfast the other day, which were just steamed and plain, this already comes preloaded with a lot of flavor. All right, let's give it a shot. There's sugar, I think. No, it's definitely sweet. I thought that this was gonna be really, really spicy. It actually weirdly is giving off like a sweet pretzel vibe. That is really good. I actually didn't think idli could get better, but this is better. Wow. It's like sweet, spicy, soft, fluffy. If you are coming here in a hurry, the idli came out like pretty much immediately. It was ready. The dosa we did have to wait 10 to 15 minutes for. Honestly, you gotta get them both though. They're fantastic. There's a lot of people here who have like full meal sets. There's a lot of people that are eating all sorts of other stuff. It all looks really good. The kitchen is huge. Everything's very clean back there. Running it like a machine. You can also get chai, coffee, bunch of other drinks. Fantastic. Okay, so I just had my first dosa ever at the Rami Sharam Cafe. One thing that is worth noting is that I believe that there's at least 3 locations. So depending on where you are, there might be one that's closer to you. We just went to the one that's closest to us. I'm assuming they're all gonna be very delicious because this was incredible. I highly recommend it. Best dosa I've ever had in my life. But it will not be my last dosa. That is unless I get run over by a rickshaw on the way home, which is possible. So hopefully that's not foreshadowing for this video, but yeah, I would love to eat another dosa someday. ordered 3 things. We've got the mutton biryani, the chicken 65, and the mushroom chole. I've never had to eat any of these things actually. It's all new to me. And then chicken 65 is chicken that's seasoned with a proprietary spice mix that was invented in 1965 apparently. The mushroom chole, I believe it's like a batter fried mushroom that then they toss in some sort of, you know, masala seasoning of, I've never had it, I can't really describe it too well. Let's see, I'm most curious actually about the chicken, so I want to try this first. Okay, first observation, like at first glance it looks like it might be really dry meat because you can see the bones exposed. It's very moist. It's very well cooked. And it's very reminiscent of like a dry rub barbecue wing, actually, I would say. Oddly, does not taste specifically Indian. It doesn't have the typical flavor that you would expect out of Indian food, especially being like a popular dish in India. To me, this if my eyes were closed, I would say this was like a dry rub wing in an American restaurant. And it would be a pretty good one at that. All right, so again, I honestly don't really know what's going on here. I think it's a battered mushroom, some sort of seasoning. Let's give it a shot. I'm really excited. It's very mushroomy. It is spicy. Not super spicy, but a little. There are some curry leaves on this again. My new friend. It's nice. They're not hot. I don't know if they're always supposed to be that way. I like that. They're like little mushroom fritters. Okay, now it's time for the main show, the biryani. We got mutton biryani, so it's cheap. So we're gonna grab a little bit of this, just kind of a ball. I'm just gonna try it on its own first. So biryani is just like, it's rice that's steamed with a bunch of vegetables and meat and spices. And it's very long grain pieces of rice. So you can see they're almost like small noodle segments. Like they're quite large. Let's try it with some of the sauce here. Sauce is very nice. I wish I could tell you what's going on in it, but I have no idea. My palate is not refined enough in terms of Indian spices to truly be able to differentiate between all these curries. They're just different colors of delicious to me, and that's okay. That's what this video is about. It's just trying new foods. I'll tell you, this is really good. Out of everything on the plate though, my favorite, I think by a decent margin, is actually this chicken 65. It's fantastic. We need to try this in a few other places for research purposes, obviously. Okay, so we just finished up. That was really delicious. 3 new foods. We're really learning a lot about Indian food. Well, not really learning because I have no idea what was going on there, but it was delicious and that's what matters. The spice was definitely building throughout the meal. By the end of it, my mouth was kind of sizzling, but it was really delicious. I say way too much food. I've got a food baby for sure now. I think that's where we're gonna call it for food for tonight. What is going on? That's the crosswalk sound. Sounds like a siren. Wow. All right. But what I was gonna say, that's where we're gonna call it for the night. We've had plenty of food today, but we're not done. Tomorrow morning we have a very exciting breakfast, and I think a lot of you are gonna be excited to see what that is. Look, I like this about this chocolate they got here. You can either get 17 of them, or if that's just not quite enough, they sell an 18 pack. Those are the 2 options though, so you gotta choose. So we're at the Central Tiffin Room, which is a really famous restaurant here in Bangalore. It's been open since the 1920s, so clearly they're serving some good food in order to be in operation for that long. We've ordered the dosa, masala dosa, and then this is the karabath. Maybe I'm saying that wrong, I don't know. I think it's like semolina flour with spices and some chilies, and then a coconut chutney. So I've never had that, I'm excited to try it. It's like very soft. All right, let's try it on its own. It's quite spicy. At first it's not, and then it's like, yeah, there's definitely a lot of green chilies in there. Some dal in here as well. It's nice because it's not all just like a loose, soft texture. Like there's the dal, which offers like, you know, little crunchy bits. You can see there's some large pieces of green chili in here, which I think I got one of those in my first bite as well. Now let's put some of this coconut chutney on here. It's like fresh and sweet. Works well with the spicy chilies and that. It's fantastic. Now I'm also excited for the dosa. It's one of my favorite things we've had so far was the other dosa, my first ever. We've not gotten run over by rickshaw yet, which does mean that I made it to my second dosa ever. And let's try it. We've gotten the masala dosa. It's so crunchy on the outside. I really love the texture. So I was just getting some footage of the food here, and we were just informed that our meal is taken care of. The gentleman that was sitting behind us paid for us, welcomed us to India. Yeah, that's hospitality. I didn't even know this. Very unnecessary, but I'm very grateful for that. The food is fantastic. Tastes even better now that it's free. What an incredible meal, and I'm absolutely baffled that somebody decided to pay for us and welcome us to the country. I've experienced nothing but kindness and hospitality during this trip, so I'm very excited to keep exploring India in future videos. So make sure you're subscribed and you turn notifications on because our next adventure in India is coming very soon. How do I know that? It's because I'm actually recording this from Mumbai. We're already on the next one. I forgot to record this in Bangalore. Oops.